We are just a stone's throw from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and it is rocking and rolling here at Huntington Bank Field in downtown Cleveland. But tonight we kick off Week 6 with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cleveland Browns. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
Ravens take over first and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Right to the air is Jackson. This will go to Henry out wide. And he takes a pop at the end of that one. It'll be a gain of about 4.
Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
That one, a first down pickup of 8. That was a lightning-fast decision that time. He just caught it and got rid of it.
Because he saw his guy was going to be open immediately. So he took the R, the run, out of the play. He took the O, the option, out of the play, and immediately got to the pass.
The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain, too.
From the 46, here's 2nd and a yard. They'll run here with a rookie from Washington. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there, a first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now it's Jackson. Batted by the safety, but caught anyway. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Henry will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynches. I think you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores there with another patented Derrick Henry run.
Tyler Luke now for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0.
the score. Ravens 7, Browns nothing.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
At their own 25-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. Throwing to start the drive. Snyder. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it's second down.
You look at this Baltimore defense. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
Most of their challenges have come in the passing game because against the run, they've been pretty darn good. Now you've got to figure out a way to slow down those receivers before they get downfield and maybe make a few more plays on the ball when it's in the air.
Open man right side of Smith-Schuster, complete. 7 yards there and a first down. The Browns in a disappointing 1-4 as they start play. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one. They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
2nd and 10.
They'll look to throw again.
Setting up the screen for Sampson.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Howard.
And a hard tackle there as he'll go down after a gain of about 5.
2nd and 4.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On the ground, this is Quinshon Judkins.
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line.
7 yards there and a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here we go,
Looking to throw. Snyder.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And the Ravens are going to get it back here just past the 35.
That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
After the interception, here's Jackson. This one caught by his tight end, Andrews. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
To the right side, into the hands of Flowers.
And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it.
You look at this Browns defense.
They've been very good against the pass so far this year. Number 4 in the NFL right now.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Running from the gun with Henry.
And a good run here as he'll run it all the way down to the 40-yard line.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. He's settling in nicely here in the first quarter running the football. Remember, he already has the touchdown run.
And you can feel the vibe, can't you? He's in unison with his offensive front. They are in concert together. So if you're flipping over to the other side of the line of scrimmage, they've got to be more physical and handle some of these gaps that have been created.
They keep it with Henry on first down. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. And they're going to have another first down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 19. 23 yards the pickup there.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Now Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's blocked. They'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Ravens have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 14-0.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, ready? Mustang 19. Take.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Rookie to rookie on the hook up there, and it's a first down.
Give up the middle, Jenkins.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
Second down and 4. They'll stay on the ground with Judkins.
Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
But when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
They'll try and run here with Judkins. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Field goal would have been a decent length at 55 yards. They keep the kicking unit on the sideline. They're going for it.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Back to throw. Snyder.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on 4th down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here.
19 Tiger.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But this defense gets 2 more stops. They can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. 18 Cardinals.
Looking to throw. Snyder. He'll swing this out to Sampson. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6. Makes it 3rd and 4.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 46. Sanders' kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So not exactly the response they were hoping for, but they'll take the 3 to at least get them on the score sheet.
Yeah, now is not the time to panic. All is well. Somewhat calm. Only down 14-0. So continue to play your game, take the points when they're there, and put the emphasis on your defense to go out and get you the football back.
And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one.
At their own 24-yard
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And Charles, these early season in-division games are always interesting because you're still kind of figuring yourself out, but you want to know as much as you can about the opponent, especially when it's a division matchup. So curious to see how the rest of this one plays out.
Yeah, that's a good point because they're still trying to work things out. They don't know everything about their own team, let alone trying to figure out their opponent. But you've got to do both on the fly, don't you? While the game's being played, figure it out both ways and try and find a way to win.
Henry up the middle. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down.
Throwing is Jackson. And this one is incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Here's Stout to punt as he boots this one away.
It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Back to throw now on 1st down. This short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he is across midfield from one 49 to the other 49. A gain of just 2.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
On the handoff, this is Judkins. It's a solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 48. 45 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms. I mean, you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help. I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is because you got to get his attention because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8.
Operating from the gun, Snyder. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Ready up.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first.
19 tight. 19 tight. Cowboy 80. Buffalo 18. Trap 60. Trap 60. Riggs. Heck. Shot alert. Shot alert. 79 Bronco. Steady.
Back to throw. Snyder. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Mike Green coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann.
And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry.
And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. That'll go for a gain of 13, helping big time to get away from that end zone. First down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, poor throw there, and it's intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. Jason Sanders now for the extra point.
Jason Sanders for the extra point.
And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10.
Ravens 14.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch. Over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line.
Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Back to the air, Jackson following the pick 6. He finds his man, complete. It's Brock. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Jackson now. Complete. It's Henry. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
24 yards to gain there, another first down as well.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his second touchdown on the season.
And the Ravens are able to stretch out their lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And that makes it a 21-10 game.
Now after the touchdown, Luke back out to kick this one away. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Now a 2nd and 2.
Looking to throw. Snyder. And he finds Howard complete. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball. But I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can. And that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
That is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
This one complete to Jerry Jeudy.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
17 yards.
He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Back to throw again. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Now the former volunteer, it's Dylan Sampson.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. Operating from the gun. Snyder. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It'll go down as a gain of 6. And that's going to make it 4th down. Back to throw. Snyder. That is caught. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown.
Juju Smith-Schuster as the first half is winding down. And the Browns are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Sanders on for the extra point. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game.
Makes the score. Ravens 21, Browns 17.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no. Further.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And
the ball's knocked out. It looks like one of the DBs has it. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And they came out of the locker. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. On first down is Jenkins. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
This a 2nd and 8.
Mustang 19. Shut up. 60 by 6. 60 by 60 by 60 by. Motion. Ready.
Looking to throw. Snyder. And he rifles one incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Ravens are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
Throw left side complete. That's Brock. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be second down.
Second and 5 at the 47-yard line.
An option give now to Mitchell.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now a 3rd and 6.
Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Brock.
And he will have a Ravens first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
At the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
First down, here's Mitchell.
And he put up a good fight, but he's going to be taken down behind the line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's caught. It's Flowers. And they move this all the way down to the 9. That's good for 28 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. To throw is Jackson.
Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. Picked up by Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. And the Browns are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the third quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up.
And he loses the football a second time. But I think the Brown was able to recover, and they'll indeed hold on to the ball here. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but if the other team doesn't get it, that's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. A little too much air under that one. That could have easily been 6 points.
Yeah, what kind of speed he has is almost impossible, we think, to actually overthrow him. But he did exactly that. I think he probably tried to get it out there maybe just a little bit too quickly.
And that is taken in by Njoku. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That's caught by Howard. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll look to throw again.
That'll be complete to Sampson.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
Checks this down to Sampson.
And he's taken down inside the 30. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Back to throw. Snyder. And his throw here is incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile.
19 Lion. Buffalo 18.
Looking to throw. Snyder. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. The kick by Sanders is good.
And that'll bring him back within a point. Well, the 3 points certainly helps, but you feel like, Charles, at this stage of the game, when you force those turnovers, need to start converting them into touchdowns.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised myself because I thought in this situation they were thinking end zone or bust. Now they got to rely on their defense to get the ball back again for another opportunity to get 6 points.
At their own 35-yard line.
Real quick. They get on that rapid pay the bills. Now I'm finished. Not even a little bit. Oh, Lord. Know yourself. Know your worth. My actions being louder than my words. How you sold, you can still sold.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And the last time out, they had the good drive going. You get in the red zone, they throw the interception. Not their first pick of the game either, so we'll see if they're more careful, more cautious here on this drive.
Yeah, nothing worse than repeat mistakes, right? You end up coughing the ball up, you end up throwing a pick, everything goes awry. And now, points don't go up on the board. I just heard a fan scream out, I thought the idea was to score points. Yeah, they're getting a little restless too.
Real quick.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Primetime. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 11 now. In motion left, Flowers. Jackson. He finds his man, complete. It's Brock. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Hey, middle.
Now it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Brock. And this effort won't do it. He needed to get to the 45. He's a yard or 2 short. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Y'all gotta call my taste. Y'all can't talk about crazy. We better know my way. Mom, all so dangerous.
Throwing is Jackson. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter, turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Snyder. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Snyder. Oh, no, he lost the football. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first.
That's good.
It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
First and goal at the 3-yard line.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on first and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Jenkins going to be stopped before he can get moving forward as he'll lose a couple back to the 5-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
That's a really alert defense there, because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Operating from the gun, Snyder toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Unsuccessful pass on third down, but at least you got 3 points here in your hip pocket.
Yeah, and I would take it from my hip pocket and put it right on the shoe of my kicker and go get those 3 points. This isn't even a discussion to me. This is a chance to take the lead after a good drive. Do it.
So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they really need to forget about their last time out, the turnover that led to a field goal. So now they try to regroup, trailing in the final quarter. Obviously, they'd love a touchdown, but 3 would suffice. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down.
Hey, come on.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
But that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, bounced right back on it, keeps possession. So they recover their own fumble. Now they face third and short. Now Lamar changing the play. Now they'll audible to something else. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Jackson now. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Here's Jackson. And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Jerry. Usfl.
Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his third interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a cornerback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 8.
Let's go. 60 easy. 60 easy. Got it.
Back to throw. Snyder. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes.
That is the big fella, Nnamdi Madubuike, forcing his way in. He comes up with a sack.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
On 3rd down, here's Jenkins.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41.
Oh, what a great job defensively to stack things. They were committed to stopping the run. They knew it was coming. And now it looks like they should get the football back as they force an important 3 and out.
2 minutes remain, and that's our score differential as well. 2 points here in the 4th quarter. The Browns send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Ravens will take over.
Here's 1st and 10. Throwing, Jackson. To Henry.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7 at the 27-yard.
Jackson to throw.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down, so that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
And get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely. This defense are saying go right ahead with those.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Now Jackson. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell.
I really like the angles that the tacklers came from on that play. They secured inside, took away the cutback. The sideline's there, so he can only go so far outside. And they were able to close in and tackle him for a loss.
Yeah, they used your boy over there, the 12th man. Sammy Sideline, right?
Sammy Sideline. You know something? He tackles pretty well, too.
He's tougher than an airport steak.
Jackson.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Malik Collins in there to take him down, and the clock will roll.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Gotta avoid the flags defensively. Here's 4th and long.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position.
They got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11.
He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball.
The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
70 line.
Looking to throw. Snyder
Setting up the screen for Sampson.
And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Sanders' kick is good. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they can't bring him down.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. This is 1st and 10.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Jackson.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there.
Here's Jackson.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for Cleveland, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.